The Art of Speaking in Public, 25 Ways to Make a Conversation with Anyone. Chapter 1. Start with a friendly smile. In the domain of public speaking, beginning with a friendly smile can be your secret weapon. It's not just a superficial gesture, it's an effective tool that can help you connect with your audience, make a positive first impression, and reduce your own nervousness. Imagine yourself in the audience's shoes. Would you be more engaged with a speaker who seems friendly and approachable, or one who's stern and distant? Your answer most likely leans towards the former. That's because as humans, we're naturally drawn towards positivity. A smile signifies openness and warmth, subtly signaling to your listeners that you're not just a speaker, but also a relatable individual. And here's another compelling reason to smile that can help you feel better. It's not just a cliché, it's scientifically proven. Smiling triggers the release of endorphins, your brain's feel-good chemicals, which can help to reduce stress and anxiety. So, even if you're feeling nervous, remember to flash a smile. Not only will you appear more confident to your audience, but you'll also feel more confident within yourself. Chapter 2. Use positive body language. Mastering the art of positive body language is crucial in the world of public speaking. This isn't just about what you're saying, but how you're saying it. Your body can speak volumes, often more loudly than words. It's a silent language that communicates your confidence, openness, and credibility. To start, stand tall and firm. This shows you're confident and ready to engage. Don't slouch or lean on one foot, which can signal nervousness or lack of preparation. Instead, use your posture to express your readiness and enthusiasm to share your ideas. Next, use open gestures. This means avoiding crossed arms or hands hidden in pockets. Open gestures indicate that you're transparent and open to others' ideas. So use your hands to emphasize your points, but avoid fidgeting, which can be distracting. Also, your facial expression is a key part of positive body language. Smile genuinely and use facial expressions that match what you're saying. Your audience will respond more positively to you if they see you're genuinely invested in your topic. Lastly, respect personal space. Don't invade your listener's space, but don't retreat too far either. Your goal is to make your audience feel comfortable and engaged. Chapter 3. Make eye contact immediately. Building on your positive body language, eye contact is an immediate way to establish connection with your audience. It's a potent tool that conveys confidence, sincerity, and interest. As you step onto that stage or into that room, guarantee your first action is to meet gazes with those you're addressing. Don't let it overwhelm you. It's not about staring down each person. It's about acknowledging them, letting them know you see them, and you're here for them. Eye contact, when done right, communicates respect. You're telling your audience that you value their time and attention. It's a silent dialogue that sets the tone for the verbal one to follow. Start by scanning the room, allowing your gaze to linger just long enough on each individual to make a connection. It's a delicate balance between making them feel seen, but not uncomfortable. Remember, it's about engagement, not intimidation. As you speak, maintain this eye contact. Shift your gaze without making it seem like you're merely ticking off a checklist. Make it natural, make it genuine. It's okay to look away briefly, as long as you return to their eyes. This gives your audience the sense of an ongoing conversation rather than a monologue. Mastering the art of eye contact is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to falter, to feel awkward at times. That's part of the growth. So, next time you're speaking in public, remember to look up, connect, and engage, because that's when true communication happens. Chapter 4. Use a firm handshake. A handshake, that seemingly simple act of greeting, carries more weight than you might expect when speaking in public. It's the first physical touch, the initial connection you make with another person. It sends a strong message about your confidence, trustworthiness, and sincerity. So, nailing it right is vital. Now, you might wonder, How do I give a firm handshake without coming off as aggressive? The key lies in maintaining a balance. You are not competing in a strength contest, nor trying to squeeze the life out of their hand. Your grip should be firm but friendly, comparable to holding a ripe apple without squashing it. Start by extending your hand, palm facing sideways. Make sure your hands meet web to web. That is, the area between your thumb and forefinger should touch theirs. Now, wrap your fingers around their hand and give a gentle squeeze. You should shake from your elbow, not your shoulder, and limit it to 2 or 3 pumps. Moreover, make direct eye contact and smile while you're at it. This shows that you're engaged and interested in the conversation ahead. Remember, a handshake isn't just about the act itself, but the whole package of body language that accompanies it. Chapter 5. Begin with a compliment. Opening your speech with a compliment may seem like a small detail, but it can set the tone for the entire interaction. Compliments aren't just polite gestures. They serve as door openers to engaging and fruitful conversations. By showing genuine appreciation or admiration for something about your audience, you instantly create a positive atmosphere and a receptive audience. Let's plunge into the art of complimenting. First, verify your compliment is sincere. People can tell when you're being disingenuous, and nothing sours a conversation faster than insincerity. It doesn't have to be something profound. It could be as simple as acknowledging the effort someone has put into their presentation, or appreciating a unique viewpoint they've shared. Secondly, make it specific. Vague compliments can seem thoughtless and generic. If you're complimenting someone on their presentation, don't just say "good job." Instead, say something like, "Your presentation was really informative. I especially liked how you explained the concept of." This shows that you were paying attention and truly value their input. Lastly, deliver it with confidence. Maintain eye contact and use a warm, friendly tone. This can convey your sincerity and make your compliment even more impactful. Chapter 6. Ask open-ended questions. Engaging your audience is key to a successful public speech, and one of the most effective ways to do this is by asking open-ended questions. These types of questions can't be answered with a simple yes or no, but require more thought and often a personal response, encouraging your listeners to engage with your content on a deeper level. Open-ended questions are a powerful tool. They invite your audience to share their thoughts, experiences, and ideas, fostering a sense of community and connection. They're an opportunity for you to show genuine interest in your audience's perspectives, which can win you their respect and attention. Some examples of open-ended questions include, "What are your thoughts on this?" Or, "Can you tell me more about your experience with this?" These questions encourage dialogue and make your audience feel valued and heard. But remember, it's not just about asking the question, it's about showing genuine interest in the answer. Developing the skill of asking open-ended questions can transform your public speaking experience. It shifts the focus from you, the speaker, to them, the audience, creating a more engaging and dynamic conversation. It's not always easy, but with practice you'll find that it becomes more natural and your public speaking skills will greatly improve. Chapter 7. Listen actively always. Don't just go through the motions when it comes to listening to your audience's responses. Active listening is a skill you need to master for effective public speaking. It's not enough to hear the words, you've got to dig deeper and understand the message being conveyed. When you actively listen, you're not merely waiting for your turn to speak. You're fully engaged, absorbing the information and nuances from the speaker. There's a silent dialogue happening within you as you decipher meaning, assess context, and empathize. That's the essence of active listening. Active listening isn't an easy skill to perfect. It requires patience, practice, and a genuine desire to understand others. It's about silencing your inner chatter, putting your personal biases aside, and focusing on the speaker. It's about being present in the moment. When you listen actively, you build trust and rapport with your audience. They'll feel valued, respected, and more inclined to engage with you. It shows that you're not just there to talk, but to communicate, to connect. That's the power of active listening. Chapter 8. Show genuine interest. Building on the imperative of active listening, showing genuine interest is equally as vital in effective public speaking. It's more than just nodding along, it's about engaging with the speaker's thoughts and responding appropriately. You're not just a passive receiver, you're an active participant in the conversation. How can you show genuine interest when you're speaking in public? One way is by asking thoughtful, open-ended questions. These questions aren't designed to trip up the speaker, but rather to deepen your understanding of their perspective. They show that you're not just hearing their words, but truly listening to them. Another way to show genuine interest is by responding with empathy. Understanding and acknowledging other people's feelings can help to build a connection between you and your audience. It shows that you're not just there to speak, you're there to connect. But remember, showing genuine interest isn't about pretending. It's about truly wanting to understand and connect with your audience. It's not enough to act interested, you have to be interested. The more interested you're in what your audience has to say, the more engaged they'll be in what you have to say. Genuine interest breeds genuine connection, and that's the most powerful tool in any speaker's arsenal. So next time you're speaking in public, don't just speak, listen, engage, connect. Show genuine interest in your audience, and they'll show genuine interest in you. Chapter 9. Find common ground. While it's critical to express genuine interest in your audience, it's equally important to find common ground with them. That shared understanding, that mutual experience, is what bridges the gap between you and them. It's the solid foundation upon which you can build a meaningful conversation and eventually a connection. Begin by identifying topics that are likely to resonate with your audience. These can be anything from current events to personal experiences, from popular culture to shared challenges. Asking open-ended questions can help you uncover these shared interests. For example, you might ask, "What's the best book you've read recently?" Or "What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?" The answers can provide valuable insights into your audience's interests and experiences. But remember, finding common ground isn't just about identifying shared interests, it's about showcasing empathy and understanding. Show that you're willing to see the world from their perspective, to understand their challenges, and to celebrate their triumphs. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say, but it does mean you have to respect their opinions and experiences. In short, finding common ground is about creating a sense of belonging and understanding. It's about making your audience feel seen, heard, and valued. And when you do that, you'll find that they're more open to hearing what you have to say, more engaged in the conversation, and more likely to remember you long after the conversation is over. Chapter 10. Use humor to break ice. Humor, when used with tact and timing, can be an incredibly effective tool in public speaking. It's a universal language that breaks down barriers, lightens moods, and fosters connection. So how can you use it to make a conversation with anyone? Start by observing your audience. Look for shared experiences or situations that might be a source of light humor. Remember, the joke should be relatable and inoffensive. It's about easing tension, not creating it. Then, practice your delivery. Timing is everything in humor. You don't want to throw in a joke haphazardly. It should flow naturally from the conversation. Try practicing in front of a friend or mirror. Pay attention to your tone, your facial expressions, and your body language. Next, keep it simple. The best humor is often the most straightforward. Avoid complicated punchlines or humor that requires a lot of background information. You want your audience to get the joke quickly and easily. Finally, be prepared for it to not always work. Not every joke will land, and that's okay. Don't get flustered if your humor isn't met with laughter. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to your next point. In the art of public speaking, humor can be your secret weapon. Use it wisely, use it well, and watch as it opens doors to meaningful conversations. Chapter 11. Be aware of nonverbal cues. Just as a well-timed joke can unite a room, so too can a keen awareness of nonverbal cues. It's a subtle art that, when mastered, can help you connect on a deeper level with the people around you. Nonverbal cues are the silent messages that people send through their body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. They're the unsaid words that often speak louder than those spoken aloud. Start by observing. It's not enough to just listen to what someone is saying. You've got to watch how they're saying it. Look for shifts in body language or changes in facial expressions. These are often signs that the person is uncomfortable, excited, or has something more to say. You might find that someone's eyes light up when they talk about their passion, or they might cross their arms when they're feeling defensive. Responding to these cues is just as important as recognizing them. If you notice someone is uncomfortable, change the subject or lighten the mood. If they seem excited, ask them more about what they're talking about. Chapter 12. Use people's names often. Remember, everyone's favorite word is their own name. Using it regularly in conversation not only personalizes your interaction but also shows respect and interest. It's an instant rapport builder, making them feel valued and seen. Think about it. When someone uses your name, doesn't it grab your attention? It signals they're engaging with you specifically, and that's powerful. It's a simple yet effective way to connect on a deeper level. So, make it a habit to use people's names often when speaking in public. Don't overdo it, though. You want to come across as genuine, not insincere or creepy. The trick is to use names naturally, as part of your conversation. When you're asking a question, responding to a point, or seeking clarification, weave their name into your dialogue. Let's say you're in a public speaking scenario. As you address your audience, sprinkle in names of individuals you've met or interacted with. It'll make them feel recognized, and the rest of the audience will appreciate your effort to connect. Finally, remember it's okay if you don't get it right every time. Forgetting someone's name isn't the end of the world. Apologize, ask for their name again, and move on. It's better to be humble and admit a mistake than to avoid using names altogether. Chapter 13. Talk about the environment. Engaging with your audience isn't just about recognizing individuals, it's about acknowledging the shared environment. The surroundings can be a significant factor in how your message is received. You're not merely speaking to an audience, you're speaking with them in a shared space. So make it a point to discuss the environment. Start by observing the physical environment. Is it a conference room or a virtual meeting? Is the room well lit or dim? Is it hot or cold? Use these observations to establish common ground. For instance, if it's a cold room, you might start by saying, "I know it's chilly in here, but let's warm up the atmosphere with an engaging conversation." This not only shows empathy, but also sets a friendly tone for the discussion. Then, focus on the social environment. Think about the energy or mood in the room. Is the crowd enthusiastic or a bit tense? Gauge their feelings and address it. Say something like, "I can sense some anticipation in the room. Let's dive right into our topic." This shows your audience that you're not just there to talk, but to connect. Lastly, consider the cultural environment. Respect everyone's background and values. If you're in a multicultural setting, acknowledge it. Say, "It's great to be in such a diverse room. Let's learn from each other." This fosters a sense of inclusivity. Chapter 14. Share a personal story. Releasing a personal story can transform the dynamics of your speech. It's a powerful way to connect with your audience on a deeper level, making your message more relatable and memorable. But how do you share a personal story effectively? Firstly, choose a story that's relevant to your speech topic. It should support your message and give it more weight. You don't want to tell a story just for the sake of it, it should serve a purpose. Make sure it's a story you're comfortable sharing too. It doesn't have to be overly dramatic or emotional, but it should be genuine. When telling your story, use vivid language to paint a picture in your listener's mind. Use your senses to describe the setting, the characters, and the situation. This makes the story more engaging and helps your audience to visualize it. Keep in mind, though, that your story isn't just about you, it's about you, audience. What can they learn from it? How can it inspire them? By answering these questions, you can make your story more impactful. Remember to maintain eye contact as you share your story. This will help to create a connection with your listener and keep them engaged. Also, use gestures and facial expressions to convey your emotions and make the story more dynamic. Chapter 15. Ask for advice always. Never underestimate the power of seeking advice. It's a secret weapon that many successful public speakers utilize to keep their conversations engaging, dynamic, and meaningful. It's not just about gaining knowledge, it's about building connections and showing respect towards your listeners. When you ask for advice, you're sending a clear message that you value the opinion of the person you're speaking to. It's an invitation to share, a way of saying, I think your input matters. This not only boosts their confidence, but also fosters a bond of mutual respect. They'll feel more involved in the conversation, and you'll benefit from their unique perspective. But remember, asking for advice isn't about being passive or showing weakness. It's about being brave enough to admit that you don't have all the answers and humble enough to learn from others. It's about acknowledging that every conversation is a two-way street and that your audience can contribute just as much as you do. So how to do it? Start by being genuine. Don't ask for advice as a mere conversation filler. Be sincerely interested in what the other person has to say. Follow up their advice with relevant questions, showing you're actively engaged and appreciating their expertise. Incorporating this habit in your public speaking arsenal won't only enrich your conversations but also help you grow as a person. It's a win-win strategy, so go ahead and ask for advice always. It's a powerful way to make a conversation with anyone. Chapter 16. Show appreciation always. Showing appreciation should always be a part of your public speaking routine. It's not only a way to connect with your audience, but also a powerful tool to establish credibility and rapport. By expressing gratitude, you're acknowledging the value of others' time and attention. Start by thanking your audience for their presence. It's not just about saying a generic thank you, rather, make it specific and personal. If you're addressing a group of students, for instance, appreciate their enthusiasm to learn. If it's a team of professionals, acknowledge their commitment to growth. Incorporate appreciation throughout your speech. Mention notable contributions of individuals or groups, if applicable. When you reference someone else's work or ideas, show gratitude. This not only validates their efforts, but also demonstrates your humility and respect for others' expertise. End your speech on a note of thanks. This doesn't have to be elaborate. A simple statement like "Thank you for your time and attention today" will suffice. But remember, sincerity is key. Your gratitude should feel genuine, not obligatory. Expressing appreciation is more than a polite gesture. It's an integral part of effective public speaking, fostering a sense of mutual respect and connection. By consistently showing gratitude, you'll not only engage your audience but also inspire them to appreciate the value of your message. Never underestimate the power of a heartfelt thank you. It can truly make a difference in your public speaking journey. Chapter 17. Use positive tone always. In the domain of public speaking, maintaining a positive tone is as essential as the content of your speech itself. Your tone sets the atmosphere, influences the way your message is received, and can win over or alienate your audience. To master this, it's essential that you're conscious of how you're presenting your ideas. When you speak positively, you're more likely to engage your audience and convey your points effectively. So, how can you cultivate a positive tone? Start by being optimistic. Frame your thoughts in a way that highlights the positive aspects of the situation. For example, Instead of saying we're facing challenges, say we're presented with opportunities for growth. Your choice of words also plays a critical role. Avoid negative words and phrases as they can inadvertently set a gloomy tone. Instead, use uplifting and encouraging language. Your body language contributes to your tone as well. Keep your posture open and welcoming. Maintain eye contact with your audience, and remember to smile. This physical display of positivity often translates into your vocal tone. Finally, practice empathy. Understand your audience's perspective and tailor your tone accordingly. This not only makes your speech more appealing, but also builds a connection with your audience. Chapter 18. Avoid controversial topics. Treading the minefield of controversial topics while public speaking can be tricky. However, it's a challenge you can master with practice and a touch of tact. Avoiding controversial topics isn't about stifling your voice. Rather, it's about fostering a safe, respectful environment that encourages open dialogue. Firstly, understand your audience. What may be controversial to some may not be to others. So know your crowd and their sensitivities. This doesn't mean you should pander to the masses. It's about being considerate of diverse perspectives. Avoid hot-button issues like politics, religion, and personal matters. These topics can provoke strong emotions and potentially derail your conversation. You're there to engage, inspire, and communicate, not to inflame passions or spark arguments. However, if you find yourself charting these waters, do so with caution. Aim to be balanced and fair in your comments, and never resort to personal attacks. Remember, your goal is to build bridges, not walls. Lastly, don't be afraid to say, "I don't know," or "I'd prefer not to discuss this." It's okay to establish boundaries. They're a sign of respect for yourself and for others. Mastering the art of public speaking isn't just about what you say, it's also about what you choose not to say. By avoiding controversial topics, you're not only ensuring a smoother conversation, but you're also promoting a culture of respect and inclusivity. And isn't that a conversation worth having? Chapter 19. Use simple language always. Almost every great speaker knows that simplicity is key. It's not about using grandiose words or complex phrases to impress your audience. On the contrary, simplicity connects, engages, and persuades. So, when you're up there, whether it's a TED stage or a local community gathering, remember, you're speaking to communicate, not to confuse. Think about your audience. They're not there to decipher your language, they're there to understand your message. So, don't make it hard for them. Use simple, everyday words that everyone can comprehend. It's not dumbing down, it's smart communication. You don't have to compromise your message's impact or depth. Instead, you enhance its reach and resonance. Here's how you do it. Start by eliminating jargon. These are industry-specific terms that could alienate those not in the know. Next, avoid long, winding sentences. Break them down into shorter, punchier ones. Remember, your goal is clarity, not complexity. Chapter 20. Be yourself always. While simplicity in language is a powerful tool for effective communication, another equally important ingredient in the recipe for successful public speaking is authenticity. Being true to yourself isn't just a cliché, but a crucial component of engaging public discourse. It's about expressing your unique thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a way that resonates with your audience. To be authentic, you need to trust your instincts. If you're passionate about a topic, let it shine through. If you have an opinion, don't be afraid to voice it. When you speak from the heart, you're more likely to connect with your listeners on a deeper level. Remember, authenticity doesn't mean you have to reveal your deepest secrets or be overly personal. It means being sincere, credible, and genuine. You're not trying to be someone else or mimic a particular style. You're simply being the best version of yourself. Avoid the trap of trying to impress your audience with big words or complex concepts. Instead, focus on being relatable. Share anecdotes, experiences, and insights that reflect who you are. This not only makes you more approachable, but also helps to build trust and rapport. Lastly, embrace your imperfections. No one is perfect, and your audience doesn't expect you to be. Mistakes and slip-ups can actually make you more human and relatable. So, be yourself, always. It's the most persuasive and inspiring thing you can do. Use mirroring techniques. Chapter 21. Use mirroring techniques. Mastering the technique of mirroring can substantially enhance your connection with your audience. It's a powerful tool that can make your public speaking skills shine. Mirroring involves subtly matching your gestures, posture, or vocal tone with those of your conversation partner. It's an unconscious process that we all engage in, but consciously using it can dramatically improve your communication effectiveness. Start by observing your audience's body language. Are they leaning forward with interest or leaning back in relaxation? Mirror their posture subtly, and you'll seem more approachable and like-minded. Similarly, pay attention to their facial expressions. If they're smiling, offer a smile back. If they're serious, reflect that seriousness. Next, tune into their speech patterns. If they're speaking slowly, match their pace rather than rushing your words. Or if they're exuberant in their expressions, don't be afraid to inject some energy into your own speech. However, remember the key is in subtlety. You don't want to mimic them, you want to mirror them. Lastly, reflect their emotions. If your audience is excited about a topic, show your excitement too. If they're concerned about an issue, demonstrate that you understand and share their concern. When you mirror effectively, you're not just speaking to your audience, you're connecting with them. You're showing that you understand them, and that's a powerful way to build trust and rapport. It's more than just a technique, it's an art form that can make you a master in the art of public speaking. Chapter 22. Practice active listening. Active listening is another essential skill in the art of public speaking. You might think that speaking is all about talking, but true communication involves just as much listening. When you're engaging with your audience, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Instead, tune into their responses, body language, and energy. Listening isn't simply about hearing words, it's about understanding. It's about capturing the essence of the speaker's thoughts and feelings. It's your secret tool to connect with your audience on a deeper level. This connection isn't just beneficial for you, but it also makes your audience feel seen, valued, and understood. There are a few simple steps you can follow to practice active listening. First, focus on the speaker and eliminate distractions. Keep eye contact, nod your head, and give verbal affirmations like or I see. Second, don't interrupt. Allow the speaker to finish their thoughts without jumping in. Even if you think you have the perfect response, hold your tongue. Third, reflect back what you've heard. This not only shows that you were listening, but that you truly understood their message. Mastering active listening won't happen overnight, but with practice, you'll see how it can dramatically improve your public speaking skills. It's a powerful way to foster a meaningful connection with your audience, so sharpen that listening edge and watch your public speaking abilities soar. You've got this. Chapter 23. Use storytelling techniques. Building on the foundation of active listening, you can now weave the art of storytelling into your public speaking skills. Stories are bridges that connect you to your audience, allowing them to relate to your message on a deeper level. They're a powerful tool that can captivate an audience, stir emotions, and inspire action. Start by choosing a story that resonates with your main point. It could be a personal story, a historical event, or even a well-known fable. The key is to verify it's relevant, relatable, and able to effectively drive home your point. As you craft your story, keep it simple and concise. Long, complicated tales can lose your audience's attention. Make sure to include a beginning, a middle, and an end. Each segment should be clear and contribute to the overall message you're trying to convey. Use vivid details and imagery to make your story come alive. Help your audience see, hear, and feel what you're narrating. This not only keeps them engaged, but also makes your story more memorable. Your delivery is just as important as the story itself. Practice your tone, pace, and expressions to guarantee they're in sync with the story's mood and message. Use pauses effectively to build suspense and emphasize key points. Chapter 24. Be prepared always. One of the most essential rules in public speaking is to always be prepared. You might be naturally talented, but without preparation, you're setting yourself up for potential pitfalls. Preparation is your safety net. It's what guarantees your message comes across effectively, confidently, and persuasively. Start by understanding your audience. Who are they? What do they need or want to hear? Tailor your message to meet their expectations. Research, brainstorm, and outline your thoughts. Anticipate questions that might arise and prepare thoughtful responses. This doesn't mean you're scripting your entire speech, but rather creating a roadmap to guide your conversation. Next, practice. Practice alone, in front of a mirror, or with a trusted friend. Practice until your message flows naturally and you feel comfortable delivering it. Remember, practice doesn't make perfect, but it does make permanent. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Finally, prepare mentally. Visualize your success. See yourself speaking confidently, connecting with your audience, and delivering your message clearly. This mental preparation will help reduce anxiety and increase your confidence. Chapter 25. End with a strong note. Wrapping up your speech on a high note can leave a lasting impression on your audience. It's the final stroke that can either make or break the success of your public speaking. Remember, it's the last thing your audience will hear and likely remember, so it's vital to make it count. Think about your speech as a journey. You've taken your audience from point A to point B, and now it's time to end with a bang. A powerful ending can resonate, inspire, and motivate your listeners. It's a chance to reinforce your main points, address any remaining concerns, and challenge your audience to think or act differently. A compelling conclusion isn't just about summarizing what you've said. It's about leaving a lasting impact. Use a memorable quote, a provocative question, or even a call to action. These can help bring your speech full circle, while also challenging your audience to think deeper or take further action. Don't rush your conclusion. Deliver it with conviction, passion, and enthusiasm. Make eye contact, use strong body language, and let your voice carry the power of your message. This not only adds credibility to your words, but it also engages your audience emotionally. In essence, ending your speech strongly isn't just about saying the right words. It's about the energy, the conviction, and the passion you put into those final moments. So the art of public speaking isn't so intimidating after all, right? Remember, 93% of communication is nonverbal. Your body language, tone, and gestures speak volumes. Let them tell a story of confidence, empathy, and authenticity. Nurture connections, inspire trust, and make conversations meaningful. With these 25 tips, you're not just speaking, you're engaging. You're not just conversing, you're resonating. Go ahead, make your mark. Speak to influence, inspire, and leave an indelible impression. Thanks for listening to or reading this from Audiobooks Office.